trying to think of anybody who has...
So is it completely futile to point out that a bill for discussion is obviously against the Constitution?
No. No. But I guess...
Make sure you're wearing a suit.
No, make sure you put it, make sure you just tell them where it is.
Yeah.
Because I made that mistake the other day.
Yeah, make sure you can tell them where it is. Don't go into long philosophical arguments.
Okay.
Okay? But if you can say, look, this is what the Constitution says right here. I mean, these 3 lines.
Right. But don't get into interpretation of philosophical.
It would be very difficult. Now, they may lead you there. Okay? But that's a case where you make the simple statement. That leaves it to them to ask you the questions. And then you're not dominating the hearing. They're dominating the hearing. You're not taking other people's time. They're taking other people's time.
That's what I tried to do with the Article 18 I just mentioned it.
Right.
He asked me what I meant.
Right. And that's what that's how you ask the leading questions. Or you make a leading statement so that they will ask questions. But if don't try and answer it all in your testimony, your initial 3 minutes or 5 minutes. Just make your blunt your 2 sentence reference. This is what the Constitution says. That's why I believe this law is unconstitutional. And they're going to come back and say what? And that gives you the platform.
Basically, just inform them.
Yes.
Don't try to persuade them. Wait until they ask to be persuaded.
Exactly. Yeah. That's a good way to think of it. And if they keep getting hit with people who are reading the Constitution, I mean that's what.
Then they'll stop publishing it.
No, that's Secretary Gardner. Secretary Gardner is as in love with the Constitution as we are.
Yeah, they don't teach it in school.
Realize that I have spoken in Gardner's ear about the improper capitalizations in the Constitution. And next summer, we will be going through and correcting the capitalizations, not just the 2 or 3 that I discovered, but when I was preparing CSCR 23 and the state shall not abridge the rights of parents, I thought, is state there? Should that be capitalized? Yeah. And then I had another one. I can't remember what it exactly had to deal with, but it suddenly occurred to me that words like legislature, was that capitalized in the Constitution? Yeah, it is. So there's a whole bunch of work of all these words like legislature, constitution, state, governor, all throughout the Constitution that are supposed to be capitalized, that are capitalized in the 1792 version. And were probably all amendments through 1925 were capitalized. And then all of a sudden they decided to have a change of style and not capitalize things. And they started publishing the Constitution not capitalized, which is unlawful because you're changing the meaning. But it creates some interesting effects. Because legislature, in all but a couple places, will be capitalized. But Supreme Court is not capitalized. So does that create some wiggle room that it's not a specific entity? Can we therefore then reconstitute the Supreme Court? It's not a proper noun.
It's just a Supreme Court.
A Supreme Court.
Form another one.
But I believe it actually said in a Supreme Court. Are you these 8-5 Beaver Blocks? No, just one. I've come in 6-packs, haven't you?
Yeah, but in this new version, we just capitalized it.
The Supreme Court?
Supreme Court.
No. That's okay. But look, shall be vested in. Okay, it's the Supreme Court.
And that's not capitalized.
And that's not capitalized.
Right, only the title part is.
Right, and titles don't count.
judge isn't over here either.
Titles don't count. Only the phraseology, and that's often an issue in bills. The title of a bill or the introductory section of a bill, while it lends to interpretation, is not legally enforceable. Only what is actually in the statute itself is legally enforceable. Not the title of the section, but the meat of the section.
What's the LBA? Listed bodies.
Legislative budget.
Budget office, they do